colleague, Robert.
Good morning, Gogglefrogs,
Good
and how are you
morning.
today? And a good morning if you're watching us live. That's wonderful. You can write in the chat box. If this is your first time, please let us know where you're from. It would be lovely to know you. And this is actually episode 169. Can you believe it? 169 episodes and 9 months ago. We started this because we couldn't meet everyone. Robert, just eat your sandwich normally. Enjoy. Don't worry. I'm Angela. This is my wonderful friend Marion, and this is my wonderful friend Robert. And we will chat with you for the next hour. Robert will be with us for about 15-20 minutes because he's on a break at the moment. And myself and Marion will talk about umpteen things. But remind me, I've got to show you these. All right? I will show you these later in the show.
Now, they are amazing because I've had a sneak preview.
Just something exciting if you know about size noodles.
No, you shouldn't even say that. They are just
different,
unusual, amazing, different,
So we'll tell you
unbelievable.
all about that. And if you're watching us on replay, hello. And you won't be able to see the chat box, but we will read the chat box out so you know what we're talking about. And if you're watching us on YouTube, hello. I don't know whether it's this year or in 10 years' time, but a huge welcome. And we are Gogglefrogs. So I've got no idea what we're going to say. There will be giggles, there will be goggles, and I hope that you've got a cup of tea and some knitting to do. So I found my knitting in the bread basket, in the bread crock, because I'd put it in there while I was tidying up the other day. And this morning I thought, where's my knitting?
It's a very novel place to put it, I have to say, in the bread crock.
It was so that it wouldn't smell of Zaflora after I'd done the work surface. But who knows if it smells of bread or Zaflora, because I still have no sense of smell 6-7 months after COVID. So who knows? So I buy Zaflora and I just think, is there no smell to it anymore? But there is. I know there is. So never mind. So I'm going to start my knitting now. Anyway, how are you two?
Wondering why the hell I brought up the back as well as the front, the bowl, the yarn and everything else.
Oh dear.
When I leave the front of what I'm knitting.
Oh dear.
Dear me.
And you're not doing any knitting, are you, Robert?
No. You look bad. Oh, that's what I was going to say, Robert. I used to have a colleague. She would, every lunchtime, she'd sit back in a chair and she would literally have 40 winks. I don't know how she did it. She'd just move her chin back, relax, and she was gone in seconds. And it rejuvenated her for the rest of the day.
Oh, yes, there was an article, wasn't there, about having a power nap at home.
Yeah.
And people were saying that, like, some people still go into work, so they can't have a power nap. But it would be nice if people could, wouldn't it? Comfortably, and if it was accepted that, you're just getting your 40 winks in the 40 winks chair. So that would be really nice.
Back in the day, we had a sick room. And it was always made up with linen and what have you. I happened to go down there one day and I thought, I didn't know anybody had been in the sick room. It looks a bit rumpled. That's a bit odd. So I made it up again, made sure that whoever was due to take the linen home did. And had to go back down there the following week just to get a plaster or something. Same conditions. I mentioned it to my boss. And we monitored it, and somebody had been staying overnight every so often to make sure they got to work early in the morning and they could do a long day for their flexi hours. Needless to say, over the knuckles.
Oh, fab. Right, while we're talking, I'm just going to refresh Facebook. And if you're not part of our Facebook group, please join. It's Gogglefrogs Knit and Natter. Because it is really good, and we're going to be showing some of the work if there's any work in there. So
I haven't put any in.
Yeah, So should we say some good mornings then?
That's an excellent idea.
Right, let's get back.
Let's see who's here. Well, I'll tell you something. We're here. Good morning, Tricia. Hope you're feeling well. Tracy, just down there. The wonderful Safi, who Angela's actually managed to meet.
Hello,
Mary.
Safi.
Dove's mum is with us. Linda, the two Lindas with us. Judy, hello, Judy.
Hello,
Janet. Jackie has got us on in the background while she's working. Good morning, Georgie.
Morning.
Morning, Anne. And finally, good morning to the marvellous Brigitte, who never fails to remind us that we are. She is the first one. Good morning, peeps. 169.
Morning. I've just realised it's my mum's birthday tomorrow, so whatever happens, I do have to get there before the end of Gogglefrogs. So can you play my mum happy birthday tomorrow?
No.
Are you not?
No, I've cancelled the session. I can't do tomorrow, and because you were going to be driving, and you told me to cancel it, I've literally just cancelled it.
No, that's fine, because you said you were going to do it, and I thought, okay.
I was going to, but I've come today and I can't.
We'll play it on Wednesday. Don't worry. It'll be better on Wednesday night.
We could do it today.
No, she's not watching today.
Oh, okay.
Don't worry.
Okay, we'll do it Wednesday night then. Sorry.
We will do. No, don't be silly. No, it's best. I can't make tomorrow, so we've actually cancelled tomorrow's session because I'm going to be driving, because it's my mum's birthday. I just can't guarantee what time I'm setting off and stuff. First of all, Robert said he could do it, but you know what? We're just going to take the day off. But thank you.
It's no. Here at the moment, I just can't.
When you said you were going to do it, I thought, that's mad. That's absolutely mad. So I'm glad we had this conversation, and I'm glad I brought that up. So good.
Is it manic in the store at the moment, Robert?
Well, the store's okay. No, the store's quite quiet. It's just my area, which is deliveries, and I have to try and get everything done by 11 o'clock. And although tomorrow is a quieter day, we've put a new routing system in today, which means that we have a very tight turnaround on vans, and I just can't take the risk that something will go wrong tomorrow.
Perfect. I'm so glad that you're not.
Sorry.
I'm so glad that you're not doing this, if you know what I mean.
I hadn't thought about the new routing issue when I said yesterday that I would try and do it. It wouldn't have been a problem.
That's fine. Don't worry.
Fine.
No, right. A bit of a mess in any case. You've been doing too much just recently.
Yes.
Okay. Right. Well, look, ladies, I have 10 minutes before I need to go. So can we catch up on chat and do music? Is that okay?
Yeah. Do you want to do music first?
No, let's do chat first.
Okay.
It's Morning Peeps, episode 169. Deborah says, happy Monday all. Judy says, hi everyone. Deborah says, oh dear, technical issues, but better now. Or maybe not, strange alien noises. Oh dear, sorry Deborah. Jackie says, yes, I'm working. Tricia says, morning folks, just making coffee and toast. Linda says, good morning everybody. Misty and murky today. It is, isn't it?
Definitely.
Safi says, good morning all, popping in before my next meeting. So glad you could pop in. Anne says, good morning. Jackie says, that Robert last Christmas is playing on the radio, first time hearing it in December. Wow, so you got a whole 7 days and 10 hours in before you heard it. So
I still haven't heard it.
Now you've lost it again.
Lucky you.
Brigitte says, Rod used to take a 20-minute power nap in the car when driving to Germany. I only just found a comfy spot and started to drift when his alarm went off. Oh dear.
I know that feeling.
Deborah says tech issues now all sorted, and said, no problem, Robert and Angela, work and your mum's birthday come first.
Yeah.
There we go.
Oh yes, thank you. So I've got to make her a cake today.
Oh. I never take power naps because I can just fall asleep whenever I need to fall asleep. Like literally I can be mid-conversation with Gary and go 10 minutes into a TV program.
Oh, that's
So,
good.
right, let's do music. So there is an introduction to today's, and then it's a shorter video than usual. So here we go. Ladies, pop yourself on mute.
Oh, yeah.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Advent Musical Interlude Day 4. And today is by Brigitte, who has chosen O Tannenbaum because it's translated to O Christmas Tree, and it's the song that she remembers from her childhood, standing in front of a small real tree with candles, singing it on Christmas Eve. And as this weekend was the weekend for big Christmas things, so lights going on up and down towns around the country, trees going up and down all over the place, massive queues for shopping, first weekend of post-second lockdown, I thought it might be quite appropriate to play O Tannenbaum today. As you can see, Christmas has very much hit our house as well. So enjoy, everybody. See you soon.
The true spirit of Christmas.
Was that the Austrian Boys Choir?
I'm not sure, but it was absolutely wonderful.
It was
Thank you.
Literally just finished. I think it's because I'm on 4G. It kept stopping and starting. So I missed the question. What was the question?
I asked if it was the Viennese Boys Choir, and Brigitte's come back and said yes, it was.
It was, yes.
Yeah. Extremely famous they used to be, and it was absolutely beautiful.
It was. And do you know what? I think that when it comes to Christmas, I'm going to have to play that. And even if we don't have the tree up, I think we're going to have the tree. We will eventually put everything back. I'm going to get my Cathy Wolfhart little, that is like a wooden carousel, and you put 4 candles on it, and with the heat it spins round. And that, with a crackling fire and that playing, will be Christmas.
We put ours out yesterday, Angela.
Going to do that, I think. Did you?
Yeah. On the sideboard.
It's yeah. They're so lovely. There's a place in Bruges, but Cathy Wolfhart are from Germany anyway. I think they're from the Black Forest, and they're hand carved wooden decorations. They do the clocks, the cuckoo clocks and things like that. So I'm sure there's different places to get them. But yeah, we've got these spinny things. I don't know what you call them. They're like a Christmas ornament, aren't they? With candles on.
Yeah.
But I can't remember what you call them. They're not
you put a tea light in, and the tea light flame light sends them around.
Yeah.
So
I saw loads in Norway.
I've got 2 different versions.
You've got one
that I've got 2 different versions. I've got one that we brought in Bruges, which is tea lights, and then I've got the one that you brought, which is the mini candles.
Yeah. So 2 different ones. Oh.
Did anybody see Young Chorister of the Year yesterday?
No, I heard about it. A local lad from All Saints one.
Yeah, the 14-year-old from All Saints Church one.
Yeah,
he was amazing.
You saw it, did you?
I was about to switch it off, and then they said, "And here's Alexander from Leighton Buzzard," and I was like, "Oh, I might carry on watching this now then." And he was very good. He was very, very good.
Yeah.
And he won. Oh, bless him. Yeah. Oh, that's so lovely.
He's been in All Saints Choir since the age of 7. 2 years ago, he went to Oxford Cathedral as a chorister, and he's now currently at Bedford on a scholarship. So he comes back whenever he can.
Oh, how lovely.
Yeah.
Oh.
I thought he sang at All Saints.
He used to until 2 years ago, and he comes back as a guest chorister whenever he can.
Ah.
Oh, how sweet.
Right, ladies, I'm really
Brigitte
sorry.
says
That's my
one of
time.
her.
I'm done, so I'm going to go.
What is it? So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, goodbye.
Farewell.
I will see everybody on Gogglefrogs on Wednesday evening, when I will be having lots of drinky poos because I'm on late on Thursday. So, yeah, enjoy.
Right.
Angela, am I seeing you this afternoon?
Yeah, I've got a bag. I've got a bag of goodies.
Okay. I should be home from about 1:30, 2 o'clock.
Well, I'll be in Northwood then, so I'll message you and let you know. So, but around you, so to speak.
Take it easy, Rob.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, Robert. Thank you. Oh, that was lovely. So, shall we go through some of the chat?
Well, we've got as far as Deborah saying, Brigitte saying, oh, hang on a moment. I've missed a bit. Well, I might get
I think Deborah says that was lovely, which it was.
Brigitte says, thank you. I feel transported back to my 7-year-old self. And yes, she said it was the Viennese Boys Choir. Safia says that was lovely.
Yeah.
Linda says that was just beautiful. And Brigitte says that one of her grandsons, Gabriel, is a chorister at Gloucester Cathedral. They were on BBC Breakfast last year. No singing this year.
Oh, bless.
I'd love to be able to hear Gabriel sing. I really would.
That would be lovely if he's on again. Or if you have the clip at all from last year, then maybe we could play that at some point. If you want it played. If not, don't worry. But yeah, would be lovely. Oh. So
when I'm doing this, I forgot to do my chart as to where I am, because I've still got to mark every row because there's still a pattern up the front. I don't want to go frogging this. Mohairs up to frog.
It certainly is, isn't it? It's not the easiest. It's a beautiful wool, but it doesn't like frogging.
No, it doesn't.
You lose the halo.
Yeah,
all knots up. So, what I was going to say, I've realised that I have actually created a totally different pattern with what I've been doing. So I am actually going to write this pattern down at the end because it is so different to the. I've changed it so much that yeah. So I'm actually going to write this pattern down.
That's your shawl that you're doing.
Yes, yeah. And I weighed it yesterday, and I had 20 grams left. So I know I only need about 15 grams to do what I want to do. So I'm just going to do a few more rows, and then it'll be finished, which will be wonderful because it means I can get back to my other bits. But you know what it's like whenever we have new wool.
Yeah, you've got to use it first. Never mind about everything that's in your stash.
I
want to use this.
And when this came out, you know what I was like? The fact that last time when I did that knit night scarf in the original Gogglefrogs, and it was so wonderful, I just had to do the same with this because, again, you can see against the black top.
Exactly.
It looks, yeah. So I can't wait to finish this and to be able to wear it.
As soon as mine arrived, I had to use it. I just had to use it.
So I will.
Good enough.
I'll finish this row and then I'll share these needles and talk a little bit about these needles.
Angela showed me something quite amazing before we came on air. And hang on, what am I doing?
Getting prepared to frog if you're not careful.
One forward, slip one, knit one, pass, slip stitch over.
Oh.
And I'm thinking, why am I slipping too? And something I'd never ever seen before, never even heard of before. And both Rob and I went, that's a bit odd. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. I haven't got a clue where Angela sourced it from, but and even what it would be used for. So that could be rather interesting. And I think she's just finished a row.
I have. I've just finished a row. I've got that much.
Drum roll, folks. I can't do a drum roll, but drum roll. Here we go.
So I went into. There's a little shop up in Pudsey, and it's called Top Stitch, and it's near where my parents live. Obviously, where Pudsey Bear's from, and a lovely shop. They do loads of sewing stuff. They do alterations. They do knitting stuff. They like lovely. And I went in on Saturday, and I thought, you know me, I've got hundreds of pairs of needles, but I was then looking through. Because I actually wanted to find some of those Leica ones and they weren't there. So I was looking and all of a sudden my eyes stopped on something. So if you can see that, 4.25 millimeter needles. Not only that, they're 40 centimeters long. They're the long ones that I use. And because I can always remember when I first went back to knitting, because when I used to knit before, we were in the olden days with size 8s and size 9s and 10s and 11s. So when I started knitting again, it was millimeters. And I said, I've been doing some things on 3.25s, 3.75s. And then I asked for a 4.25. And it's just like, but there isn't one. I went, oh, isn't there? So didn't realise it goes from 4 to 4.5. Now, the lady whose shop it was, these are actually Sirdar. Yeah, so they're Sirdar, West Yorkshire, anodised aluminium knitting needles. And she said that she wanted some metal needles, but what people didn't have to pay the earth for. So she just asked for the whole range, and she doesn't know whether in America they have the equivalent of 4.25s or not. She just don't know. I thought it was odd when they arrived. So I was really excited, the fact that I had a pair of 4.25 needles, and I've got no idea what I'm going to use them for. But the fact that they're 40 centimeters, which means when I knit, I can put them like that. But they feel quite nice. They're gold. So, and I tell you something, you know, when it drags, you can feel it holding. So they're not slippy metal. They almost squeak. So we'll see what they like to knit with. But yeah, has anyone else got 4.25 millimeter knitting needle? So that's a little bit of a purchase there. I didn't even look to see if they had 4.75. I'm sure they haven't, but I will look next time I go in.
What yarn would you use it for?
Well, I think that if I had, you know, when sometimes you have a DK, and I always say sometimes the really springy DKs, like if you've got a Wensleydale that you're knitting with, and then sometimes, especially if it's acrylic, it's more towards 4 millimeter, and when you look at it, you can see I always say you can see the light through the knit.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just a little bit fluffier. So I think I'll do 4 if it recommends 4, but I'm using a nice springy yarn, I'll go up to 4.25 and see what they're like. But I just thought they were exciting.
It might just be useful for somebody whereby their tension's just a little bit out on a 4, but a 4.25 just gives them that little bit. That little bit. Or I wondered if it'd be better with the American worsted weight.
Possibly.
Because that's the same as our DK, isn't it?
Yeah. But I do find with DK, you have thick and thin DK, don't you?
Yeah.
And with chunky, you have thick and thinner chunky. and super chunky. And even the yarns like this, I use, certainly for a scarf, I like things quite loose, so it drapes a little. That doesn't drape as a normal drapey one, but I just want it sort of looser. Whereas when you have a lovely chunky bulky scarf, sometimes you really want it out here. So I don't know. I don't even know which one I use, because I got a 3. Did I get a 3.5 and a 3.75? So I just picked one of them up and started knitting with it.
Well,
I'll
the
measure
yarn this yarn is a case in point. It's Rowan. It's a new Rowan yarn now. I'm sorry, I can't remember what it's called. And if you look, if you take away the sort of little bit of fluffiness, you can see it's quite thin.
Yeah.
But it's knitted on 4mm needles, and it comes up quite dense.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. It's not for me.
It's really strange, isn't it? Oh, who's that for? Is that for your aunt?
No. It's for a friend of a friend who, for various reasons, can't do it herself.
Oh.
And it's needed rather urgently.
Oh.
More than that, I will not say.
Okay. Well, it looks lovely, and you're so right. Different wools, and I've got something. I can't share it with you yet, but I am going to say something, and I'm going to show you a sheep soon. But I've been talking about British breed wool.
Yeah.
Well, I've actually got my first skein of Polwarth. Polwarth. It's a British. So what it's like. It's just so exciting to get my hands on this skein of Polwarth, and that's a DK, and I'm not joking. It feels like Aran. It really does. But the rules are, me and Robert share things first, if you know what I mean. But that's why I'm going to see him today. But I'll show you this, because I think this is just one of the cutest that I've ever seen.
I have never even heard of a Polwarth sheep. So what part of the country are they from?
Oh, I don't know. They're all over. It's different farms will have this, but they were, hang on a minute. They were Polwarth, breed of sheep that was developed in Victoria during 1880. They're 1/4 Lincoln and 3/4 Merino bloodlines. So they're a large, predominantly polled sheep. That means horns, I believe, and quite fine wool. Good for meat, so apologies vegetarians, but sheep do two things. Developed in an attempt to extend the grazing territory of sheep because the merino was found lacking in hardiness in this respect. So the Polwarth wool is well regarded for its appreciation in the woolcraft. The longest staple length of up to 130mm. So that's quite long, isn't it? 13 centimetres. And it says
13mm.
Yeah, so that's 13 centimetres. Don't know what it is in inches.
That's 5 inches.
All right,
that's
5 inches.
Long.
Yeah, so it makes it easy for hand spinning and felting. The wool is soft enough to wear against the skin and is known for its drape. Mill-spun yarns made solely of Polwarth wool are commercially available. Polwarth sheep were developed with white wool, however, natural black, brown, grey wool flocks have expanded. And I'll show you what it looks like. Look!
Oh!
So they're the really, really fluffy ones. Like such an intense fleece that I just think is beautiful. And that was just a picture that I saw. I thought it was quite funny.
Yeah, I was reading somewhere that the reason there's not so much wool available for spinning and what have you is that they took the sheep breeds along the route of the meat, looking for good wool producing sheep, rather than a sheep that would produce good yarn because it was no longer useful for that. Back in the Middle Ages, of course, and Edwardian times, both a lot of yarn, and of course it was the wool trade that was required.
It was, and again with this Polwarth that I think is just so but if that's got such a long, is it ply or what did we say? Staple, thank you. Long staple. I've got some of this. I've got one hank to feel, and it feels beautiful. It is so lovely, so soft. But I think sometimes a name like merino, everybody loves it, everybody likes it. It's been, you know, developed into such great numbers that's meant that the price of merino has gone down so much over the last 20 years, hasn't it? I mean, merino 20 years ago, you didn't even hear of it. It was,
and if you did, it was something special, you know. Merino, you know, and it was really, you were really buying top quality stuff. But today we're going looking at the blue vase Leicesters and that sort of thing when it comes to hand knitting.
So I've never heard of the Polwarth before, and I actually got hold of a hank of this stuff and just thought, that's lovely and fluffy. Not fluffy, it's just bouncy. Lovely. Look, you know, what I term traditional old-fashioned DK that was
springy.
Yeah, really, really wide. And that's what I remember DK being. So when I started knitting again with DK, I thought, this stuff's so thin.
And it was kinky. When you unraveled it, it was all kinky.
So I loved this. So again, we won't know about this until we get to the grading centre, I think. But the fleece weight is 13 to 15 pounds. Fibre diameter is 23 to 25 microns. The wool type is a soft, fine, long wool fleece, and the length is good staple length of 113 millimeters. I don't know. So they are an Australian breed, but no, they're different ones. They're tees ones below. So nice little thing. Did I have another picture? Oh, and that was another one as well.
What's that?
That's the same one. That's a Polwarth as well.
Do you know what? The head is a bit like a poodle, isn't it?
I know, it's just like when you look at them from different sides, it is. It's quite hard to find websites with Polwarth sheep. I don't think they are really used. So over in Australia, there's, I have issues and certain people have issues. So I'll put my own hands up for that, not other people, for what they do to merino sheep. And that's the mulesing. So some people have started to breed out the merino, so they've bred it with other things. So the merino sheep doesn't have the folds of skin around the hind legs, which makes it all get into a mess, which is why they have to do, well, they decide to do mulesing, but you know, responsible people are breeding it out. But it's interesting when you actually start looking that they are mixing merino and Polwarth, etc. But I just think the Polwarth shape looks lovely. But no, I think the Polwarth was bred out of merino, wasn't it, at some point? But down the front,
Polwarth and something else, didn't it say?
Yeah, and down the front, you can. I didn't realise. I'll show you a picture of a merino one day. They actually have folds down the front. So if you think about a Shar-Pei dog with the loose skin, a merino is similar to that.
So clearing it would be incredibly difficult.
And I think just when they say, is it blowfly that they get? Because of those
around their hindquarters. They call it a fly strike, or am I thinking?
It's fly strike. I couldn't remember what it was called, but you can see like the folds at the front. But I think it's such a beautiful shape. I do. You can. Isn't it a little bit like the alpaca face with the fact that the hair comes right over the eyes practically? So
when you go back to that first picture you showed us,
yeah,
that one, because Brigitta's made a comment.
Oh, has she?
Oh, that's so sweet. Wait a minute, somebody's put Trisha. Like, oh, that's so sweet. Did the other tell it to kick his?
Oh, so I just thought that was a nice little story for a Monday morning. So there we go. Polworth sheep. Yeah, but
What Judy says is lovely to spin.
Oh.
Deborah says to Brigitte about her grandson Gabriel, how lovely. I've read out Brigitta's comment about the two sheep. And Anne would like to know, was the shop, Angela? In normal times, I visit Pudsey once a month.
Right, fabulous. Lovely shop on the corner next to Santander. So as you know the main crossroads by the market, where Santander is, it's just next to that, and it's called Top Stitch on the corner. Lovely lady who runs it. I think she's only been going there. She did have a shop somewhere else before, and she moved to this area, so she's only been going about 6 months, I believe, something like that. Really lovely. And another thing about Pudsey I didn't realise, it was actually on the Knitting and Crochet Guild page, but Knitters in Pudsey have put up the most elaborate knits all over. So when I go there tomorrow, because we have it's my mum's birthday, but we've got a visit at the home with my dad. So Boris says we do visit people.
She said Pudsey and their elf.
Yes, so I'm going to take some pictures. So me and my mum are going to go and do a bit of a drive around because it looks lovely, and all outside the commercial pub, which I know well of old.
Rebecca says they look a bit like teddy bears, teddy bear looking sheep. And good morning to you, Rebecca.
Good morning.
Trisha has put a link on. It's a long link. So can we get that in the Facebook page, do you think, please? If I was to pull it, what would happen if I was to pull it up here and now?
It's fine, I've got that, so I can show that now if you'd like.
Yeah, because she goes on to say it's a picture of a merino with its folds, and the tree is outside the commercial pub.
Yeah. I used to go to the commercial when I was young. Right, let's have a look. So here we are. Can you see those?
Wow, look at all of those.
So
you wouldn't have thought there were so many different breeds of sheep, would you?
Can you see these folds here?
Yeah, and this one,
that's
down a row, and that one.
Yeah.
And then the one next to it, you know, the description of it looking like a Sharpei is spot on.
Yeah.
That's not so pronounced, that one. It's just a big droop, isn't it? But its head is a bit small for its body, doesn't it?
I know. They're absolutely huge, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that one. What's that? That's merino. They're all merino. Aren't they beautiful? Sorry, I'm running out of battery juice, so I'm just going to put this in.
Yeah, I've run out of lots of battery juice doing this. Rebecca says how lovely it is for your parents to be able to see each other on your mum's birthday. And Anne says that her friend Teresa posted it on another Facebook group. She helped with that display. I must admit, from the pictures I saw, it looked absolutely amazing. I need to go into Leighton and see the one in the Scottish sheep.
Yes, so do I.
And maybe take some photos of that and get that on. I know Helen's put some on. Oh, is that a lamb? Back a bit. Oh, yeah, they've got a lamb. What to me is bottom right.
Yeah.
That one, yes. And that's sweet.
And you can actually see the folds, can't you?
Yeah, the beginning of the fold, yeah.
Yeah. It's beautiful. But that one's cute.
Those horns are something else, aren't they?
They are, aren't they?
Didn't they used to use those to make
oh, sorry.
horns for blowing and for storing stuff in, for guns, powder.
Oh,
Was
I
it
don't
those
know.
sort of sheep horns, or was it antlers and stuff? I can't.
I don't know.
But you know what I'm talking about.
No, I've never heard that before.
Oh, they
No?
in some cultures they'd use horns from various animals, hollow them out, and use them to keep their powder dry for guns. And I think in yet more cultures they used it to store various other bits. And Norfolk horn sheep, says Rebecca, the horns were used for buttons. So back in the day, nothing was wasted.
Yeah.
Because, of course, part of an animal would have been used for to make jelly, and I've forgotten what that's called.
I don't know.
It's not agar, is it? That's something different.
No, agar's for vegetarians, I believe. So, I don't know.
Gelatin that makes it set. Calf's foot jelly. That's it, Rebecca. Calf's foot jelly or gelatin.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
So with that, I've left you with that little picture of that beautiful little lamb. Isn't it just gorgeous? And we are so lucky, aren't we, to have such amazing wool around us that we can actually get hold of. But I will let you know what the Polworth knits up like. I just can't wait. I can't wait, but I can't unravel it yet until I see Robert.
Would you like to go to the Facebook page?
I was just going to do that now. Let me refresh.
Yeah. And I've forgotten what Monday is. Oh, throwback Monday, isn't it?
No, Throwback Tuesday.
Oh, Mash Up Monday?
Mash Up Monday, that's it. Right, okay, let's go here. So, now, Deborah told us that she was going to do some wreath making. She was having a crafty afternoon. I believe it was on Zoom with her daughters, and they were going to be making wreaths for the doors. And I cannot believe how beautiful these are. Well, actually, I can believe it, but absolute creations made. So they got a pack that had everything in it, the moss, all of those cinnamon sticks, etc. And I do believe that that's Deborah's with the
the one with green ribbon. Yeah.
Aren't they stunning?
They are absolutely beautiful. Do you know what? That's something I've never ever made, is a Christmas wreath. Mind you, I've got to admit, I've got nowhere to hang it on my front door. And everybody comes to the back door, as you know, as we're back to front house.
Oops. Sorry, and I've got one more to show. And
that's lovely.
They're stunning. And what I love is the fact that the ones that you buy are a commercial circle, aren't they? Whereas, although in the market, I popped into the market the other day and they had a lovely display of them. Some really lovely ones. But well done, Deborah. Yet another day with your daughters creating things. And here...
This was very interesting because Rebecca also posted it in the Guild site. And it's what wrapping paper is recyclable and what isn't. So if you can scrunch it and it stays scrunched, you can recycle it. Then if you scrunch it and it springs back, you can't. It's that simple. So me being me, I use tissue paper to wrap most of my presents, and sometimes I'll put them in a bag and sometimes I'll wrap them up with something else. So you can scratch that up and it doesn't spring back out, and so that can go in the rubbish bin.
And when you mention that, because we don't think about it enough, do we? Because I stick most of mine on the fire and use it to light the fire. So I'm actually burning plastic, aren't I, by doing that?
Some of it, yeah.
And I didn't even know. So thank you for
if it's that strawable stuff, that sounded rude, didn't it? then you can put it on the fire.
Thank you. That's given me food for thought, and something that I can remember hearing on Dragon's Den one night, that Deborah Meaden, she is very ethically, environmentally focused, and her and all of her family recycle their wrapping paper. So they wrap this year's presents in last year's wrapping paper.
We used to do that as a child. We'd unwrap our presents, and my father would insist that we were very careful with the sellotape, and if it was a big enough piece, we had to smooth it out and fold it up neatly, and the following year he would possibly iron some of it to make it smooth, and we would reuse it until it got too small to use.
Oh, wow.
But we don't do that any longer. What I do though, is I use bags these days. I'll wrap something up in something nothing very much, put them inside a bag, and the bags get reused because I buy nice solid bags.
Oh, that's good. I try and recycle the bags, and there are times when I've got a Christmas bag and it's someone's birthday, and I just think, look, it's the right thing to do to recycle this.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I'm looking at the wood pigeon because the wood pigeon's just come up to the French doors to tell me that you haven't put anything out on this garden yet. Those in the front have had their food, but we've had nothing.
Well, Rebecca goes on to say that her yarn delivery has arrived, and she's really pleased about that. I can't go to town to get it, as this is in a lower tier than me. So it is great that they can post it to me. Does that mean one side of the road's tier 3, yes, Rebecca, and the other side of the road's tier 2?
And you can't move from tier to tier, and if you do, you get fined. But I have to, because I'm caring for my parents, so I can.
Well, my mother's, as I said, going down to the Isle of Wight. We're tier 2, they're tier 1. That should be okay, because of course she's going down for them to care for her.
Yes, yeah. If it's caring, then that's absolutely fine. So I'm just conscious of time, but Tricia posted this. Christmas.
Does that say hooligan yards? It does say hooligan yards.
So it's Christmas Zoom tour of the sanctuary, 12 noon on Sunday the 13th of December. Duration is about 1.5 hours and £5 per ticket. So the virtual footsteps of Nottingham's Dementia Choir, and join us on a Zoom tour of the sanctuary. We're offering a special pre-Christmas tour, mud, snow and all, this Sunday. If you'd like to come along, do you know what? As that is for dementia, I will be doing that on Sunday. How lovely. And if it means I see anything woolly, then that's perfect. So let's have a look at those beautiful eyes.
Aren't they lovely?
I just look. Yeah, I've decided at some point I want sheep and goats, but I want to sit with them and watch the telly. I know it's not possible.
But I just need a fair old sized garden.
Exactly. I need to move.
Land.
Yeah. I need to move to Ascot House for what I want.
Yeah, but then what's that?
This is also, oh no, that's hooligan yarns. I don't know.
Never heard of hooligan yarns. I will have a look when we come off.
Yeah, we'll have a look and see. Let's have a look. Robert, that is the Advent calendar show from yesterday. This now, Georgie, thank you so much. You've posted some lovely, lovely, lovely things. Just look at these. How cute are these? And I know Brigitte, I know you don't do amigurumi, but they look like. Can you remember the flumps? They're like the flumps, but better, aren't they? Robin in a bobble hat pattern. Robin can be made in any yarn, just use the corresponding hook side. I wanted my robins to be quite small, so I used DMC Petra Pearl 3 in red and gold with a 2.5mm hook. For the hat, I used Drops Baby Alpaca with a 3mm hook. It's just use anything. It's so small, it'll work. And what I love is when you click it, The whole pattern's there.
Oh,
Isn't that
wow.
lovely? Yeah.
Is it American or English?
English, it said UK. So just look at that. I mean, you could put them on your tree, couldn't you? I tell you what would be lovely. If you got a little ring, so you sat it on a ring as if it was on a little swing, and then put string around that circle that it was sitting on, and then put it on the tree. That'd be lovely.
Yeah.
Just pootling, that's another one. So just when you get onto these, there's loads and loads and loads. So just pootling is gorgeous. This was virtual equinox shawl surprise.
Yes, I looked at that and I thought how I've downloaded
it. I hate to say it, it's beautiful, but there is no way I could manage that pattern because I forget. I put things down and I don't mark where I am, and that's why I then have to do 1 or 2 rows to see that I've gone wrong, and then I have to understand what the next row should have been. So that's why I know I can't do something like that.
I've got enough Robert's fringe to do that.
It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I love it. I would love it, but I know I couldn't do it. Just a little reminder that there's 7 days left for any Christmas orders. If you want anything, we do have boxes. Oopsie daisy.
You answer that and I'll go through the chat.
Right, cheers.
Jackie says, bye all, see you on Wednesday. And happy birthday to Angela's mum for tomorrow. Brigitte says there was no sellotape on my presents when I was small. It was always ribbons, and both ribbons and paper would be kept until next year. Very good idea. Rebecca says that she's in tier 3 and Oakham is in tier 2 in Rutland rather than Leicestershire. Okay, I'll have to go on a map and look at a map, I think, for that one, Rebecca. And Rebecca also says Hooligan Yarns is a lovely place. They look after elderly or disabled animals. They have a Facebook page as well. She saw them first at Lincoln Knitting and Crochet Guild branch and now has several purchases from them. She has their calendar for next year as well. Put a picture up, my love, of the calendar, which would be great. Now I was going to say something. Oh, yeah. You know the curling ribbon that people use? I used to buy that, the little packs, the tiny little wee packs, and I used to think, oh my God, these are expensive. But it's actually called florist ribbon or something, and you can go on YouTube and you can give me a moment and I'll show you. You can buy these massive great spools. Oh, I've got all tangled up in my yarn. These massive great spools, 500 meters for £2.40. And I was paying £1 for about 100 meters, which I must say I thought was a little bit on the, well, no, not even 100 meters, 10 meters, which I must admit I thought was a bit on the expensive side. And Judy says, have a safe journey, Angela, and enjoy your visit.
Thank you.
Rebecca's posted the link to Hooligan Yarns. Do you want to the calendar for Manor Farm, for the charity that they're doing, Angela, if you'd be so kind as to share that.
Share
the link. I don't know what would happen if I did it.
It's all right, I'll just do it. What, put it in Facebook?
Well, I don't know whether you can do it now. What would happen if I tried? Let me have a try.
It's fine. I've put it in there anyway.
Okay.
Let me just do that now.
And Deborah's saying happy birthday to your mum for tomorrow and drive safely.
Thank you
And
so much.
Brigitte says, thank you for this morning and happy birthday to your mum.
And there is a Hooligan Yarns calendar. What beautiful little faces.
Aren't they?
They most
They
certainly
take on
are.
elderly animals, rescued animals.
Well,
that's what they take on.
That is certainly a charity worth mentioning, isn't it?
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
There you go. And I've put the post in the Facebook group as well.
Wonderful. You never know, they might get some more orders.
Oh.
And can I echo what everybody else is saying? Happy birthday to your mum for tomorrow.
Oh,
and please drive safely. And
yes.
both you and Robert, enjoy your days off tomorrow. Don't work too hard. You deserve a rest. Maybe you won't put your knitting in the crock pot, in the bread crock.
Possibly not. Maybe I'll remember to take it up with me as well. Because last time I went to Leeds, I left my bag here, so I had no knitting. So never mind. Well, I did have stuff in the
and that is a I'm trying to think what Brigitte's grandson calls it. That's a disaster, but he doesn't say disaster. He says that's a nanaster or something like that. I know it makes me smile every time she says it.
Doesn't it?
It does. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Oh dear, children. Well, talking about hooligans, as you know, my daughter and son-in-law have got this new kitten. Well, they got him Saturday. And Sunday he sort of hid a bit under the sofa, came out rarely. This morning, he's become a hooligan.
I knew that cat was going to be a hooligan. You could tell in those eyes.
Yeah.
You can tell.
Says, yes, and an aster. I think that's got to make its way into the Oxford English Dictionary. That really has.
Hasn't it? Oh,
definitely, without a shadow of a doubt.
It has. Well, we're at the end of the session, folks. So absolutely lovely to speak to you and see you today. So I hope you enjoyed today's session. There is no Gogglefrogs tomorrow, but there is Gogglefrogs on Wednesday evening at 8.
And I'm already ready for it. Even my granddaughter said, Nanny, what's this bottle of gin doing up here?
Just like that's for Gogglefrogs. Fabulous. So thank you so much for joining us. It's been an absolute hoot as ever, and we will see you on Wednesday evening at 8 p.m. Have a lovely couple of days. Bye.